Greetings from Novosibirsk, Siberia, Russia. The biggest inhabited city in all of Siberia. It's right now a pretty chilly -18 degrees centigrade. You can see it's written on top of this tropical railway station of Novosibirsk. I have always had this kind of unusual dream to see how people are living here in Siberia during winter. So together we are going to explore the biggest city of Siberia, Novosibirsk, during a freezing winter that is actually not so cold right now, considering that it is middle of January. Can you believe it? Only -18 degrees centigrade. Right over there you can see the Christmas trees of the train station with the little Soviet star on top of it. On the right, when you get out of the railway station in capitalist Russia, you can see over there a McDonald's. Can you believe it? This is not so typical of Russian food, Siberian food, so the first thing I want to do with you guys is to go to a restaurant here and eat some typical Russian Siberian food. Let's go, guys! Здравствуйте. Извините, девушка, я только что приехала в этом городе. Можно с вами пообщаться и выпить водку?
Конечно.
Можно, конечно, давайте. Как вас зовут?
Даша?
Очень приятно. Я Урелен. За что мы пьем? За русские люди.
Точно?
Да, давай. И за Сибирь. Can you say?
Hello. My name's Daria. My name's Daria. Yeah. And so, bye.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
This kiss for you, guys and boys.
Скажи, какая была самая холодная температура в Сибири зимой?
46, 7. Мы тогда лежали дома. У нас был камин, вкусная еда.
Сколько градуса нельзя сходить в школу здесь?
-30. Но, кстати, часто, когда -30 или -25, машины не заводятся.
У вас тоже часто меняется температура? Ну, типа один день -20, потом 0?
Нет, один день -10, другой -30.
In Siberia, in most of the biggest cities in Russia and Siberia, even in the smaller one actually, they make construction with ice. So we are right now in front of the main theater, opera of Novosibirsk. Как называется опера на самом деле?
Театр оперы и балета. Нават.
Navat?
Нават.
Navat. So we are in front of the Navat opera. As you can see here, they made this kind of ice skating square where you can just go through this huge Christmas tree and then do some ice skating. And they made all the fences in ice. It's true ice, my friend.
Это двор, и в нем разные кафе.
Ага.
Они все очень прикольные и вкусные. Он хороший.
Да, конечно. Siberia was actually founded in 1893, so it's a very, very recent city by European standards. It was founded at a future site of a Trans-Siberian railway bridge that was crossing the Great Siberian River of Ob. Novosibirsk was built and then gained a lot of importance thanks to the construction of the Trans-Siberian. At the beginning of World War II, more than 50 factories were relocated from Western Russia to Siberia in fear of them being destroyed by the Nazis. Also, more than 140,000 refugees came here because of the war. That's the reason why Novosibirsk became a very important industrial city in Russia. I mean, in the Soviet Union. And you can see here how they were building planes, tanks for the front. Всё для фронта, всё для победы. Here you can see all those Soviet dudes, general workers, building planes and tanks to them, take them to the front to fight the Nazis. 125 years of the Western Siberian Railway. Tsar Alexander III that made a decree to build the Trans-Siberian. And then guys, over there we have a board with all of those legendary destinations right outside of the railway station, with Vladivostok, Moscow, the legendary Trans-Siberian, the entire journey, 1 week, you can see. Then Tomsk, which is a little city on the north of Novosibirsk. Ulan-Ude, which is the capital of Mongolia. Krasnoyarsk, another city in Siberia. Kulunda, I have no idea what is Kulunda. Another Trans-Siberian journey, but in the other way around, from Moscow to Vladivostok. Can you believe it? In 1 day, 2 Trans-Siberian journey. I have a feeling that in Novosibirsk they like to have a little mixed between light green and grey. Check it out. Grey Soviet building, grey Soviet building, green Soviet building. Amazing. One interesting fact about the metro of Novosibirsk is that it was built 35 years ago. And right 35 years ago happened the catastrophe of Chernobyl. And they're making like pictures from Chernobyl over there and pictures from the constructions of the metro. You can see Soviet workers working, checking what's happening over there. And here we have got the famous picture of the helicopter that fell because, I don't think it was because of the radiation, but something happened. They were trying to put sand inside the reactor number 4 to stop the radiation, and basically the helicopter fell on the ground. Alright guys, I just found what might be one of the weirdest thing I have ever seen in my life. It's again minus 25 on the street, and I found a outside street shop that sells ice cream, мороженое. Do Russian people really buy ice cream by minus 15? Let's ask. Извините, можно один вопрос? Я иностранец, и мне очень интересно, если русские купают мороженое, когда минус 20 на улице. Да? Да? А почему? Это вкусно, я понимаю, но потому что Сибирь. Хорошо. А у вас даже, я вижу, СССР, советское мороженое. Смотрите. Wow. Check it out. Soviet ice cream, my friend. So, there is not only one, but another one here selling ice cream. And someone is going to buy ice cream, actually. This is weird. I mean, not weird, it's interesting, let's say. There's another ice cream shop over there. You can come to Siberia, minus 25, and buy ice cream. Yeah! So our exploration of Siberia is getting very well right now. We are learning a lot of the tradition of the city. So first thing is ice cream. Not vodka, my friends, but ice cream. That's Italia. Wow. So Daria is again making fun of my Russian pronunciation. До свидания. Так было приятно познакомиться. Приятно было попить с вами водку. I really don't know how they are surviving here by this temperature. Good luck, lovely pigeon. Right now in Novosibirsk it's minus 19 degrees centigrade. But as you can see, it goes by night, I mean in the evening, minus 23, minus 24. But the temperature are like changing very very fast, because on Saturday it's only minus 2, Sunday 0 degrees. Can you believe it? 2 degrees in the middle of January in Siberia. That's very weird. And I have got here a little Soviet balcony, check it out. In the balcony actually it's very cold. It's very cold. Not that cold right now, but yeah, There is like a Soviet house over there, like a Siberian KFC, and you can see like there is snow everywhere. Check it out, we've got like a lot of Soviet buildings here, more modern, balcony over there, a little Russian house. There is something very, very common in post-Soviet countries, especially in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. It's that you have got like, for example, over there, a building that is very pretty, like it's like a typical classical Russian building. Over there also, and in the middle we have got like this kind of like weird, not weird, but like grey, old Soviet building right in the middle. Yeah, that's Russia, my friends. And you will not see that in the city center of Moscow or St. Petersburg. It will be even in the city center of Kiev or Minsk. I don't think you will see that. It's maybe in other cities you will see like this contrast between buildings. Just check out the windows. They look like they're frozen actually. And the feeling when I touch them, it's like super cold, super cold. But it's a very, very dry cold. There is no humidity at all, so it's not that bad, and there is no wind. Let's have a little bit of an experience right now. Check it out. Wow. Alright, my friends, so this is how looks a typical building in Siberia, but in Russia actually, or in Eastern Europe. In all post-Soviet countries you will find those kind of podjezd, this is how they call it, like the interior part of the building. So you've got here like this kind of fancy blue, for example, a light blue. They love this color here in Russia and Soviet Union, I mean post-Soviet countries. The more I get closer to the door, the colder it starts to be. And when I'm right in front of the door, I really feel it. Wow. 26, I mean like this is minus 26. It's not warm. And there is one thing that is happening right now in Siberia which is very, very weird. At the time I'm filming this video, it's the 14th of January. Again, right now it's minus 23 degrees centigrade. But check it out, tomorrow it's going to be minus 1. Minus 1 in Siberia. I don't know about you guys, but I've always loved those Russian churches. Travelers coffee. I guess this is going to be my place to have a Siberian breakfast. Check it out. Man. What do you think? Did I order this one or that one? What do you think, guys? Do you think you know my tastes of food or not? To be honest with you guys, this place looks like the perfect place for a traveler that work remotely to get some work done actually in this traveler coffee. So it's like a salty pancakes with eggs and bacon. Interesting. I've never had this in my life before. It's very interesting because they actually put mushroom inside the pancakes and a kind of salty sauce. So yeah, it's really like salty and sugar mixed. I highly recommend to try it out if you have the chance one day to visit Novosibirsk. Who wants to know how expensive is traveling around Russia right now? You have to understand the change rate first. For example, €1 is equal to almost 90 Russian ruble. That means that you can have a meal here, for example, let's say some sirniki, which are over there, for something like a little bit more than €2. €2 in a good place actually. I'm not in like I'm in the city center. I'm not far in the outskirts or something like that. Whereas, for example, if you go in Paris and you get those French breakfast in a cafe in the city center, you will have a baguette, coffee, and a juice for €8. You will still want to eat after that, you know. So this breakfast is called sirniki in Russian, and it's It's a very typical breakfast that you can have in most of the cafes in Ukraine, Russia, Belarus. This one, as you can see, cost me a little bit more than €2. So it's fair enough. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You need to try it out if you come to Ukraine or Russia. I found a completely frozen sausage on the ground. So here in Novosibirsk, they don't really put sign of crossing. So when you cross the road, you have like this green sign over there, but that's all. And sometimes it's a bit tricky to know if I should cross the road or not. Over there you can see that because inside the sewers there is like very hot water and it's very cold outside, there is steam that goes from it. And it's like this everywhere in the city, steam getting out of the sewers. If you're from Canada, you might be used to it, I think. So here the ground is mostly a mix between snow and ice. And it's very, very sleepy. I almost felt like 4 or 5 times on the ground. I'm not sure if you can see, but very, very far away there is a kind of fog over the city. And I'm not sure if it's due to the cold or to the pollution, because they might be heating a lot the buildings right now. I put some stories actually when I filmed this thing about the ice cream shop and everything on my Instagram, and I got a lot of responses from my Russian friends telling me that during school, when they were children and when they went to school, when they came back home, they actually bought ice cream on their way back home. And I was very shocked to learn that, because this is very unusual for me. In France we don't do this. I don't know about England, America, but I don't think so. So basically during Soviet time, they were not that much of like tasty stuff to eat. There were also not any tropical fruit and stuff like this. So people were buying a lot of ice cream. That's why like Soviet parents of actual Russian citizens nowadays were still buying ice cream to their children, a lot of them. And then the children were buying ice cream when they were going back to school, from school. And nowadays, those children that are now 20, 25 years old are still buying it. That's a fun story. Right outside the railway station, we've got some shop, open market kind of, with they're selling some like fur and everything. Извините, вот я иностранец. Я бы хотел знать, если у вас эти советская шапка, знаете? Ну, нет. Look guys, this is a Siberian open market with true Siberian clothes. We've got some meat here, frozen meat, сало. Здравствуйте. Покажу, что у вас вкусно здесь. Вижу, что у вас много вкусного. А это сало, да? Ага. Класс.
At home?
Oh, я не знаю. And while visiting Siberia, there are a few other things that you can do apart from just staring and watching those big mountains of snow everywhere. Here in Novosibirsk, there is the biggest zoo in Siberia with a lot of tropical and exotic animals. Can you believe it? They took some giraffes from Africa to Siberia, and they had to adapt to the minus 25, 30 harsh temperature of cold winter Siberia. That's the first thing. Second thing, there is of course the opera, which is a magnificent opera here in Novosibirsk. And then about nightlife, bars, stuff like this, I don't really know. I've been here for a few days and I had no time to go out for a drink or anything. But I think the main reason why you would want to come here is just to experience this, like, I don't know, Russian Siberian life, because here it's most of the people living in Novosibirsk are actually ethnic Russian. I have not seen so much of other ethnicity here for now, and it's very interesting for me as a foreigner, maybe for you to just like walk on the street and watch people's faces. I don't know, like. So as we were discussing with Dasha that the weather was actually going up sometimes and down, like changing very rapidly here in Novosibirsk, Siberia. Today, would you believe it? Middle of January, it's -1 degrees centigrade. There is two things that happen when those changes of temperature like are happening like this very fast. First thing, you are dying of hot water. I mean, it's like freaking hot inside, sleeping hot. Because they are heating the apartment for -30, -20, let's say, when it's like +3 outside or -1, then you are basically dying inside because I can't control it. It's like for the whole building. And second thing, I don't know if you can hear it, but there is like melted snow that is now like kind of tapping on the roof of my balcony. So like snow can fall basically from the roof, and it can be dangerous. This is what happened basically here every spring. The snow going down like this, kind of melted snow. And yeah, as you can see the roof over there, they are not flat. When you've been living on a flipping good old Siberia and -20 for 3 days and then it got -1. Whew, man, this gets actually pretty hot. I'm not used to this weather anymore. Middle of January, my friends. There is melted snow going from the roof, as you can see. I don't know if you can hear it. So right behind me is the biggest and busiest airport in Siberia. And this is here that we're going to make a quick review of our stay in Novosibirsk, to then take the plane to go to a place which is even crazier, colder, and deepest in Russia. Okay, there is the taxi driver over there. So I spent 5 days here in Novosibirsk. The first 3 days were cold. When I arrived here, it was -26 centigrade. It was the first time in my life I experienced a cold like this. And then it got warmer very, very fast. As we saw, like -26, boom. Plus, I mean, -1, -6, something like this. About 20 degrees of difference, it's a lot. And right now I'm like chilling out, it's like -8. And I've got used to the cold actually very, very fast. Like without shapka right now, I'm just with on my sweater. I have nothing under it right now, and I'm feeling quite good, to be honest with you guys. But even though we had quite a good time, a few borscht, good vodka, some good Russian Siberian meal here, I feel like I want something a little bit more extreme, my friends. Yeah, I want something a little bit more cold, like a bit more colder, because when we think about Siberia, about Russia, we don't want -20, we want -50, -40. We want to freeze, and this is what we are going to do right now. We're going to go inside this amazing Siberian airport to get to a plane, to go to a place which is even colder than Antarctica. Let's go, guys.